Okay, so we'll continue with the earlier problem. Okay, some more problems I'll try to solve in state transition matrix today. So given here in the slide some question, they have given two state matrices A1 and A2 for which they have asked you to compute the state transition matrix E of AT or phi of T. Okay, so what are the two methods with the help of which you will be able to solve state transition matrix? Tell me. And what is A1 and what is A2? You will give me some answer or shall I go on without understanding your
By
side?
matrix exponential method and Laplace transform method.
Yes, two methods are Laplace transform and matrix exponential. What are the two state matrices that are given? A1 is given to be
Sigma 0 0 sigma.
sigma 0, 0 sigma. A2 is given to be 0 omega minus
Omega minus
omega
omega.
0 for which they have asked you to calculate e power at. So we are going to do this calculation by means of Laplace transform technique only by using one of the property of the state transition matrix. So if two A1 or A matrices are given, so then how will you solve for e power at by using one property as I told you. First individually for the two state matrices you need to find out the state transition matrix, then you have to multiply both together, thereby you will be getting e power at. That is a methodology. So A1 is sigma 0 0 sigma for which I will try to find out individually the state transition matrix by using Laplace transform technique. By Laplace transform technique, what is the formula? What is the formula? Formula is there in the slide, no?
Si minus A inverse.
You
Laplace
have to take the inverse Laplace transform of Si minus A inverse. So this is the formula that you will be using. Okay, this is the formula that you will be using by Laplace transform technique to find out the state transition matrix. So that we are going to do now. So in order to do that, first thing is you need to find Si minus A. Okay, so you know S is replaced as S only. I represents your unity matrix, that is identity matrix. So it is a 2 cross 2. So one all the diagonal elements will be substituted as 1, thereby I will be substituted as 1001 and A is given in the problem sigma 0 0 sigma. So
But ma'am,
I
in
just,
problem A was given sigma omega minus omega sigma.
there are two matrices, you did not understand the question then. A1 is given to be what value? You check out the question.
A1
Sigma 0 0 sigma. A2 is given to be 0 omega minus omega. Two state matrices are given. For first one I am going to obtain state transition. Second one I will obtain state transition. Both I will be multiplying together to form the entire state transition matrix. That is the method. Okay, so using this formula, if I multiply these two matrices, I will be getting S0 0 S. Then I have to subtract that given A from this. So what will be the answer that I will be getting for the step? What is the answer?
S minus sigma 0 0
So
S
if I
minus.
subtract S minus sigma 0, if I subtract, then I will be getting 0 S minus sigma. So that is the answer for S I minus A. So let's check it out. This is the answer as I have already told you. Now next thing is I need to find out the inverse of this Si minus A. So for finding the inverse, what is the formula that I have told you last class? It is equivalent to, you have to find out the cofactor transpose you have to find out, then you need to determine divide that by the determinant, thereby you will be getting the inverse of this matrix. So how will you find out the determinant of this matrix? What is the determinant? Determinant, you know how to find. What is the answer for the determinant? S
S
minus
minus
sigma the whole square minus 0. So this will be the determinant. So that you will substitute in the denominator. Still you need to find out cofactor of this same matrix transpose you need to find. So how will you proceed with the transpose of this cofactor?
it will be same.
Okay, this is a formula that I am to use. Just now I have found out the determinant, that is equivalent to S minus sigma the whole square. Next, I need to find out the cofactor. So how will I find out the cofactor? I have to inverse the locations of these two. Both are same. So cofactor will also be similar to the original matrix because both the terms are same. So even if you change the location, it will be the same. But here it is 0, 0 only. So it will not matter. So this is your cofactor. Now proceeding with the Si minus A inverse. So this is your cofactor that you have found. You have to divide that by the determinant. So what will be the answer that you will be getting?
One.
Every term you are going to divide by that determinant. So what will be the answer that you will be getting? 1 s minus sigma will get cancelled. So finally what will be the answer that you will be getting? This and this will get cancelled. So what is the answer that you will be getting? What is the answer for Si minus A inverse?
1 by s minus sigma whole square.
1 by s minus sigma, then 0, then 0, 1 minus sigma. Okay, so that is the answer that you will be getting for mathematical manipulation. So this is the answer that you will be getting. Next thing is you need to find the inverse Laplace transform. Okay, so there is no necessity for taking partial fraction expansion here in this case because directly you will be able to take the inverse Laplace transform for all the terms because it is a simple term. So what is the inverse Laplace transform of these two? 1 by s plus a format. So what is the inverse Laplace transform for it? What is the inverse Laplace
E to
transform
the
1
power
by?
sigma t.
Yes. So 1 by s minus sigma is the term. If you are taking inverse Laplace transform, it will be e power sigma t. Okay. Written it wrong or what? E power plus sigma t will come or e power minus sigma t will come. 1 by s plus a is e power minus at. 1 by s minus sigma is what? E power sigma t or e power minus sigma t. What is answer? You know Laplace transform, no?
E power sigma t, ma'am. 1
Yes,
upon
ma'am.
s minus sigma.
Okay, so this will be the answer for e power a1t. Okay, so for the first state matrix you got the answer. What is the next state matrix that you are having? A2 given in the problem. What is A2? You copied the question or you did not copy? A2 was given to be 0 omega minus omega 0. You have to follow up the same procedure. So what will be your first step? If you
Si
respond
minus
the
a.
class will be Si minus A2. Okay, so S is yes. So this is your unity matrix that I will write in place of diagonals. Minus 0 omega minus omega 0. So what will be the answer that you will be getting? This will become, if you multiply, what will become? S0 0 S it will become. So we subtract, what will be the answer that you will be getting? So S0 0 S minus 0 omega minus omega 0. So if you subtract, the answer will be S minus omega minus or plus omega, and S you will be getting. Okay, so this is your Si minus A. What is your next step? Si minus A2
Inverse.
actually. You have to take the inverse. Okay. So if you want to take the inverse, what is the formula for it? You have to find the cofactor of the same term, take its transpose divided by determinant. That is the formula again. So what is the determinant of Si minus A2? That is equivalent to S minus omega omega S. What is the determinant of this? S squared minus of omega squared. So the answer will be S squared plus omega squared. That is your determinant. Okay, determinant part is over. Next you need to determine the cofactor. So this is the matrix representation. What is the cofactor for it? Cofactor transpose you need to find. Okay, so these two terms you have to interchange in location. Both are same terms, so you are going to retain. and between these two terms you will interchange the sign. Okay, so here it comes the sign, negative sign, you are going to interchange it to this term. Okay, so this is your cofactor transpose. Okay, then finally, okay,
Ma'am,
what?
ma'am, that was, ma'am, you wrote it opposite, right? It was S omega minus
Yes sir.
S omega minus omega S should be the,
While multiplying I did wrong, you are telling me, yeah.
ma'am, it was S00 S.
Wait.
Ma'am, can you A2 again? I guess I have written
S
A2 wrong.
minus omega, omega S, no? Correct
Ma'am,
only
what,
I have did.
ma'am, what was A2?
A2 was 0 omega minus omega 0.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Yes, good. Sorry, sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, so this is your answer that you will be getting. Now finally moving on to finding the inverse. Okay, the inverse, the cofactor is S omega minus omega S divided by the determinant is S square plus omega squared. Okay, so every term you are going to divide by this. Okay, so tell me after simplification if you divide, what will be the answer? Si minus A inverse S divided by S square plus omega squared, omega divided by S square plus omega squared. Sorry. Then minus omega divided by S square plus omega squared, S by S squared plus omega squared. So this is after complete division of the determinant with respect to all the terms. Now one more final step. What is the final step that I have to do? What is the final step that I have to do? Do you want me to pick one particular person and ask me the answer for it? That will be better, I think so.
Laplace inverse.
You have to take Laplace inverse of this. Okay. So you need not take partial fraction expansion here also, or you should take partial fraction expansion. Which is the case? Is it necessary to take partial fraction expansion here?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So what is the inverse Laplace transform of all the terms? You tell me. Inverse Laplace transform of everything you have to take. Okay. So what will be the answer for the first term? You know the simple formula, no? S divided by
Cos
Ma'am,
S
omega
cos
t
square.
and
sin
change.
omega t.
Cos.
So for this it will be cos omega t. For this one, A divided by S squared plus A squared.
Sin
This
omega
will
t.
be sin omega t. This one will be same, minus sin omega t. This will be cos omega t.
Cos
Okay,
omega.
so this is the final answer that you will be getting. So e power a to t finally is cos omega t, sin omega t, minus sin omega t, cos omega t. And already you have found out e power a1t. What is answer for it? E power minus sigma t, sorry, plus sigma t, 0, 0, e power sigma t. Okay, so these are the two answers that you have got for the two state matrices. Now you need to multiply these two in order to get e power 80. That's all. So you multiply both the matrices and tell me the answer that what you will get. As per the property, e power 80 completely will be equivalent to e power 180 e power a to t. Okay, so you know the answer for the first one, that is e power sigma t 0, 0, e power sigma t. And the next one that you have got is, I think, cos omega t, sin omega t, minus sin omega t, cos omega t. You multiply both, then what will be the answer that you will be finally getting for e power 80? Simple matrix multiplication, what is the answer? E power
E
sigma
power
t,
sigma t.
then cos omega t, first term. Second term, 0. Okay. What is the second term? Oh, you have to multiply now like this.
E power
Okay.
sigma t
What will be
sin
the
omega t.
second term? Next, you need to multiply these two. So, e power sigma t sin omega t you will get. Okay. Then third term, then you have to multiply these two, no? So what will be the answer? E power sigma t sin omega t minus you will get. Okay, then you need to multiply these two. Okay, so if you multiply, then what will be the answer that you will be getting? E power sigma t cos omega t. Okay, so this is how you will be solving the problem. I'm hoping all understood. Have you understood? One more problem I will solve from this part. Then I will go to the next controllability and observability I have to go for. Have you understood this methodology or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, 37 people are in this class. At least one. Yes, you cannot tell and all are sitting sleeping. Every class I have to scold. Next time, if nothing is coming from your mouth, then I will pick out people and I will pluck answer from your side. Is it okay for you? I think it's better. Okay, next problem, you have to tell me the answer. I will ask individually what is the answer. So take down the question. The state equation and initial condition vector. Are you taking down the question or not?
Yes, ma'am.
You should try to give me the answer or else I will mark you absent. You should try. Try is what I am telling you. Take down the problem. Come on, Aniket. Tell me what is given in the question that I have written just now. Read the question. Question is not complete. Read the question.
The state equation and initial condition vector of the LTIV system given determine solution of state equation.
So what do you need to determine here? You need to
State
determine
state equation
solution of
solution of
state equation. Have you
solution.
copied the question? Shall I move on to the next page?
Yes.
Till the
Yes,
question
ma'am.
is not complete, I have to give the system. Okay, system is x1 dot x2 dot which is equivalent to 1011 x1 x2 where x naught is equal to 10. Okay, so this is given system LTIV system. So what is the expansion for LTIV? What is LTIV system, Maniket, again? What is the meaning of LTIV system? Somebody in class, what is LTIV system? Linear time
Invariant system.
invariant
Invariant.
system. Okay, so there is a question that is given. This is your system for which they have asked you to determine solution of state equation. Okay, they have asked you to determine solution of state equation. What is this one actually? This is representing what equation? That is my question. Aditi will tell me the answer. What is this actually, Aditi? You know what is a state model, no, Aditi? Whether or not? Ajay Shekhawat, what Aditi is there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. State
What is
equation.
this? That is
Like,
state equation. So what is your state matrix? Always you are see solution of state equation they have asked. So I think I have told you what is solution of state equation. That is given by one formula actually. X of t is equal to e power a t x of 0. Okay, this is your solution of state equation. You make a note. So this is what they have asked you to present in the given problem. So they have given x of 0 in the problem or not? They have specified that in the
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
Okay. So you
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
determine e power 80. What is e power 80 actually? Ajay Shekhawat and Angaraj. What is e power 80?
State transition
Okay.
matrix.
State transition matrix. So how will you determine A? A is not directly given. So how will you proceed with finding out A or identifying A? A is not directly given. So how will you find out A? Angaraj and Ajay, I am going to mark 2 absent. Anusha, how will you find A? Anusha, Ajay, Angaraj, no response means absent.
Yes, ma'am.
What is
Yes, ma'am.
state matrix? How will you identify state matrix? How will you identify A? Without A, you cannot determine state transition matrix. So how will you identify A? What is the state equation representation in general? I told you hundreds of times that those 2 equations are very important. We have also solved problems also, how to derive state space model. It consists of 2 equations, state equation, output equation, I told you. In what general representation you will have these 2 equations? You should never forget those 2 equations, state space model. Anybody in the class, do you know?
Ma'am, that I plus 80 plus 1 by 2 factorial is 24.
This is x of t that is equivalent to what?
Oh,
What
yeah,
is state
Laplace inverse.
equation?
Ma'am, AXT plus BXT.
Axt plus bxt, bu. Okay, so you compare these
BU.
two. Okay, what is A now?
Yes, sir.
What is A now?
1011.
So if you compare this equation or this matrix will be representing my A. So suppose if A is not directly given in the problem, in what other ways will they give A?
In the former state, ma'am. State
Yes, in the
equation.
form of state equation like this they will present, from which you will take out the system matrix and then you will solve for e power 80. So as per this formula 1011 is your A. Now you will proceed for finding out e power 80 again by using Laplace transform technique only. Okay. Now between Angaraj, Ajay Shekhawat, still no answer.
Yes, ma'am.
What? Yes, ma'am. What is the
Yes.
first step, man? Tell me, Ajay.
Yes, ma'am.
Angraj and Ajay. Tell me what is the first step for solving e power 80 using Laplace transform? What is the formula? Just now we have finished one problem. Anusha and Bharati, first step. What will be your first step? Anusha, Bharati, Brinda, Deepa Lakshmi. Tell me how will you proceed for finding out e power 80? This is a 2-hour class, so I can spend as much time as I like questioning you. So you have to be prepared. What is the first step? Are you going to answer or shall I proceed with the other people in class skipping you? Anusha, Bharti, Brinda, Deepa Lakshmi. I think most of the people are not in class. What about Hrithik, Jayesh, Bharadwaj, Mohan Kumar? Whoever is not responding to me for a long time, they will be marked absent. Punishment from my side.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what will be your next step for finding the e power 80 value? Hrithik, Jayesh, Bharadwaj, Mohan Kumar. Simply telling yes ma'am is not enough from my side. At least you should try. I've already told you the procedure for obtaining e power 80 hundreds of times. Because this topic is very important. One sure question will
We
come
will
from e power
find
80.
out the state equation.
What state equation you will find? No. You have to find Si minus A. Find it and tell me.
Ma'am, ma'am, then we will find A inverse plus 1 by 2 A square
No,
B
first
square
find
plus
Si minus A and tell Jayesh. A matrix I have given. I is unity matrix. Substitute in the formula and tell me what is Si
I
minus A.
inverse.
Tell me the answer. What is answer? Bharadwaj, Hitik, Mohan Kumar. Today you are having some university lab, huh?
No, ma'am.
Then why people are not here? No girls are answering. Come on, Jayesh, what is the answer? Simple matrix subtraction you can't do in 1 minute and you cannot tell the answer, huh?
Doing, ma'am.
What are doing men? Come on, Mohan Kumar, Bharadwaj, Shitik, Mohit. Mukul, Pratyush, Prince. Somebody should tell me the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
What is answer?
Is after solving this?
Yes.
Ma'am, S minus 1, 0, minus 1, S minus 1.
S minus 1, 0, 0. Sorry, minus 1. Then
S
S
minus
S
1.
minus.
minus 1.
Okay, so this is the answer. Then what is your next step? You have found out Si minus A. Then you have to take its inverse. Okay, Si minus A inverse you have to take by using what formula?
Inverse matrix.
What? Don't talk to
Adjoint A
yourself.
upon
Cone
determinant.
factor transpose by
Cofactor
transpose by
Si minus
determinant.
A, the transpose, then divided by determinant I have to use. Okay, then what is the determinant? Si minus A determinant. Si minus A is given by S minus 1, 0, minus 1, S minus 1. So what is the determinant?
S minus 1 whole square, ma'am.
S minus 1 the whole squared. Okay, that is the determinant. Okay, fine. Then what is the cofactor? S minus 1, 0, minus 1, S minus 1. Cofactor transpose. These two are same, so interchange it will not change anything. But between these two, you have to shift the signs. So this will be the answer that you will be getting. Okay. Then you have to divide.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do the division and tell me the answer. Si minus A inverse. The cofactor is S minus 1, 0, 1, S minus 1. So you are going to divide that by determinant. The determinant is S minus 1 the whole square. Everywhere you will divide. So what is the final answer that you will be getting?
1 upon S minus 1.
1 upon S minus 1, then 0,
0,
then
then 1
0.
upon S
Then
minus 1 whole square.
1
1 upon
minus
S1
S
whole
minus
square.
1 whole square divided by 1 minus S
1
minus
upon
1.
S minus 1.
So this is the answer. Okay, then what is your next step? Final step.
Partial fraction.
You have to take L inverse. You can directly take L inverse. No need to take partial fraction expansion.
Inverse.
Only if it's not possible, then you can take. So directly L inverse of this 1 by S minus 1, 0, 1 by S minus 1 the whole squared, 1 by S minus 1 you will do. So that will be giving you e power at or phi of t. So tell me what is the final answer. L inverse you have to take everywhere. What is L inverse of 1 by s minus 1?
E power
E
t.
power e power t.
T.
E power t, then 0. Then for this term, what is the inverse Laplace transform?
E power t into
T
t
into e power t.
by 2 minus 1 factor by 1 by nothing.
Okay, then last e power
E power
t.
t.
So this is your state transition matrix. You have found out state transition matrix, but in the problem they have not asked you to find state transition matrix. They have asked you to do what? You need to find out solution of what?
State equation.
Solution of state equation. So what is solution of
equation.
state equation? Solution of state equation is given by what formula? X of t is
2x
equal to e power at into x of 0. Just now we have found out e power at. What is e power at? E power t 0, t into e power t, e power t. What is x of 0 that is given in the problem? X of 0 is also given now. 1
Yes,
0.
ma'am.
Okay, you have to multiply these two and that will be your solution. So tell me what is the answer. Multiply this with this, you have to multiply, and this with this you will be multiplying. So if multiply, it will be e power t, okay, then 0, then again you have to multiply these two, so you will be getting t into e power t, correct? So this is your solution x of t for the state equation. This is another way. So in this topic you have to discuss three things. What are the different properties of state transition matrix, then how to find out state transition matrix. Two methods are there, Laplace transform matrix exponential, and finally they might ask you to find solution of state equation also. Okay, one more model of problem is there that I will discuss later because such questions are not coming. Okay, one more thing I wanted to tell you. Suppose if they give you state transition matrix, okay, given thing is state and transition matrix from which they have asked you to find out A. A represents what matrix?
State matrix, ma'am.
State
So
matrix.
given thing is state transition matrix, but they ask you to find out A. So how will you do that problem? So you know how to solve e power at by Laplace transform. So what is the method? What is the formula just now? L inverse of? We have discussed two problems now. L
Si
inverse
minus
of
A inverse.
Si minus A inverse. Okay.
Inverse.
Alright. This can also be written as phi of S. Alright. Now interchange the Laplace transform to the other side. Now it will become Laplace transform of e power at is equal to phi of S. Okay. Now next thing is one more thing how to do. Finally, phi of S you know. Okay, phi of S is equal to Si minus A inverse. Okay, so phi of S inverse, if you taking to the other side, it will be Si minus A. So okay, now from this equation, how can you find out A finally? This is how you will be finding out system matrix if you have been given e power at. So what is the formula A? Simple mathematical manipulation only. So what is A?
Si
Bring A
minus
to the other.
I of S inverse.
Si minus phi of S inverse. Okay, make a note of this formula. Okay, this type of problem may also come, but so far it has not come. But still you need to solve one problem based upon this way also. Okay, so given data is what here in this case, and you are finding out what by this formula? They would have given state transition matrix, that is e power at they would have given, from which they are asking you to find out A. So what is the formula for finding out A? Might be asked in MCQ also, so you have to remember the formula. Make a note of the formula. What is A?
Si minus Phi S.
Phi of
Si
S
minus
inverse.
phi of S inverse. Okay. So you know how to substitute for S, you know what to substitute for I, but how will you find out this phi of S minus 1? Phi of S is equal to what I have told you? Si minus A inverse. Okay, so this way you will be finding out phi of S. You substitute in the formula, you can get A. Okay, have you noted on the problem or the formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next we will move on to one more important problem. Okay, controllability and observability we will discuss. Okay, wait for 5 minutes. I will take a photograph of my notes and then I will describe the theory. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
See, your lab, I am giving you some instructions for lab. I think it is to be conducted in 2 batches. Are you hearing me out or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The test will be conducted in 2 batches. Okay. I think first batch people. Do you know who belongs to first batch or you don't know?
Ma'am, up to 324.
Yes, first batch your timing will be I think 2 to 3:30. Okay. And second batch you will be having 3:30 to some time 4:30 or something. Okay, 1.5 hours for you people. Okay, 2 batches. So you join Google Meet accordingly. Okay, understood how the lab is to be conducted or not? See, you should finish writing part within. See, like you are doing in regular lab class, now you will be given one sheet. Within 4 pages, you will be finishing the written matter. Same way, how to finish. Don't write extra matter and all. Okay. First, you have to write everything, get your aim identified, and get it corrected from me. Then you have to proceed writing the code. Then only you can do programming in MATLAB after getting approved from my side. Okay, that's enough, I think. Okay, next concept. This concept of controllability and observability is also very, very important. Okay, surely one problem will come from this. Only one formula I have to remember. Again, matrix manipulation only. So make a note of it. Okay, the definitions are also very important. Okay, concept of controllability and observability. Are you making a note? Definition for controllability.
Yes, ma'am.
Make a note. Again, I'm telling you, this is one more important part of this unit from which problem will surely come in part C. Two formulae how to remember for it and matrix manipulation only. Have you taken down? Shall I move to the next page?
Wait, ma'am.
Tell me when you're done. What about பாரதி பின்ன மேடம் எல்லாம் இருக்கீங்களா இல்லையா? தீபா ஒரு வாய்ஸ் காணோம்.
Irka, ma'am.
இருக்கன்னா அப்பதே கேட்டதுக்கு ஒருத்தரும் பதில் சொல்லல. என்ன? பாரதி மேடம் ரொம்ப முக்கியமான வேலையை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்களா காலையில? Mohan Kumar, you are there? Deva.
Ma'am,
Ah.
ma'am, what is written in the last line?
From any initial state x of t naught to any. It's not complete. Only if you are saying finished, I will show the next page. Done now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is given here? Why, what is controllability actually? You are being given within system, you are obtaining the state space model. State space model, you know, it is a combination of state equation and output equation. After obtaining the state space model, if you are saying that the chosen state variables are controlled, can be controlled to get the desired output, then the system will be said to be controllable. Alright, you know how to pick out state variables. How will you be able to pick out state variables for a given system? We have solved for the state space model now. There are two ways in which you can choose the state variables. What are the two ways in which you can choose the state variables? Suppose if it is an electrical system, means what variables have you chosen for state? You know you have solved for, no? Suppose if it is electrical system, okay, RLC circuits were given. How did you choose state variables there? We have chosen VR, VI parameters we have chosen to be state variables. So
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this case, they are physical variables. Okay, physical variables. So you can opt for the choice of state variables using physical terms like voltage or current. In terms of mechanical system means what values you have chosen for state?
Displacement, velocity.
Yes, X, velocity, all those things we have chosen to be state variables. Those are physical variable or phase variable? V, I,
Phase.
X,
Phase.
V, all are phase. Physical variable, man.
VI physical variable.
VI is physical variable. Displacement velocity is also physical variable. So that way also you can choose states. Okay. Another method is, suppose if they give you d squared y by dt squared 26 plus 25 dy by dt plus y plus 6. So this is also a system given in terms of a differential equation. Okay, and if they ask you to find out state space model for this system, then what will you do actually? We are not having any voltage parameter, we are not having any current parameter, we are not having any displacement parameter, we are not having any velocity parameter here in this case, but still a system is given. They have asked you to find out the state space model for this. So what will you do? There is only one variable that you are having. What is the single variable that is present in the system?
Ma'am, velocity.
Don't think velocity. What is this one? Now we have moved on from velocity. Y alone is the variable that is given in the problem. Okay. So using that only you will be fixing up states. Okay. Alright.
Yes,
You will fix up Y as one variable, x1. Then x2 you will fix up as y dot. Okay. Then that will you will be fixing up x2. Okay. Which is equivalent to. Then y double dot you will fix up as x3, y triple dot you will be fixing up as x4. Okay, so these are what type of variables? These are physical variable or phase variable? That is my question.
phase.
Phase. Okay, so this is state model using phase variable. Okay, that is the difference between using physical variable and phase variable for obtaining state space model. Either way, you should be able to find out the state model. So once you obtain the state model, the state variables that you have chosen, if you are able to control it for getting the desired output, then it will be called as a system that is controllable. And proper definition is, suppose if you are able to transfer the system state from any initial state is given x of t naught. That is your initial state. So from this initial state, if you want to transfer the state of the system to any other state, okay, like I will tell you, I complete the statement, okay, to any other, from one initial state to another state within a particular time. If you are able to achieve by this vector, then the system is said to be controllable. Okay, that is how you will be defining controllability. Complete the definition. So if you are able to transfer the system state from initial value to some desired value within a particular time by using a control vector u of t, then the system will be said to be controllable. Okay, this is how you will be defining controllability. Have you finished the statement? Have you taken down? Shall we proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So they will give you one system. Again, they will give you ABCD matrix or a state equation and output equation. They will give you, and they will ask you find out whether the system is controllable and observable. That will be the question. So how will you prove that the system is controllable and observable? For that, one test is there. This is a very easy test. Other methods are also there, but people do not do the other methods. Jordan's method is also there, but those are complicated methods and it is not included in your syllabus. So we'll stick to the easy method that you are having. What is the name of the method? What is the name of the test?
Kalman's test.
Kalman's test. So as per Kalman's test, if you want to prove whether a system is controllable, you will be given with one system in terms of ABCD matrices or state equation and output equation. So from that, how will you prove that the system is controllable by using Kalman's test? What is the formula for it? Come on, see to the slide and tell me the formula.
QC is equal to
QC is equal to B, AB,
A square B.
A square B, A cubed B, A to the power 4B. It will continue. Okay. So you will solve for this matrix. Okay. All right. If it is depending upon the order of the matrix, this equation will differ. Okay. So n is the order, number of the state variables. What, ma'am? What is the condition for that matrix? That should be a non-zero element or a zero element? Come on, you will be
Non-zero.
finding you will be finding out QC by using this formula. Then the answer for that should be a non-zero element. It should not be equal to 0. Then the rank of QC should be equal to n, the order. Okay, this is a matrix. Actually, you will find out the rank of the matrix. That rank of the matrix, if it is equal to n, means the system is said to be controllable. Okay, so this is how you will be proving that the system is controllable by using what test? What is the name of the test?
Kalman's test.
Kalman's test.
Kalman's test. Okay. So two things are important here: the definition for controllability and how to prove that the system is controllable. So what is the definition for controllability? When you are being given with the system, if you are able to transit the state from its initial value to desired value within a particular time by using a control vector. Okay, you want the system to perform in a satisfactory way. Like you are designing a controller. Here you will be including a control vector. Using that control vector, if you are able to transfer the state from initial to desired state within a particular time, then the system is said to be what?
Controllable.
Controllable. And in order to prove that, two conditions you have to satisfy. You need to find out what first. You need to find QC matrix. That QC, how will you find out QC matrix? What is the formula?
B
B,
A
A,
B
B,
A
A
B
squared B, the formula will go on. Then you should satisfy what condition? After finding that matrix, that matrix should not be equal to what value?
0.
0.
0. Okay, and one more condition that you have to find is rank of that matrix should be equal to what? Rank of the matrix should be equal to the order. Okay, n is the order. So the order should be equal to the rank of the matrix. After, if these two conditions are satisfied, then the system is said to be controllable. Okay. Same way, you need to know what is observability and what is the proof that you are having for observability system. So take down the definition for observability also. Whatever state variables that you are picking up, that should be measurable or observable. Okay. Are you taking down? Finish down. This proof also you took. You know what are B, A, B? What are B and A, B? Tell me. I am giving you a formula B, A, B. So how will you determine or identify what is B, A, B? For that system, in the problem, they would have given you x is equal to ax plus bu, y is equal to cx plus du. This is called as what actually? Again,
Space model.
space model. So this is your state equation, this is your
Output
output
equation.
equation. So this system will be given in the problem from which you will find out what is A, B, C, D. After that only we will find out this matrix, then whether the system is controllable or observable. Okay, that is the methodology. Okay, so take down now. After you take down statement and proof, I will solve one problem.
Ma'am,
Tell.
in the bracket it is written estimation of unmeasurable after that.
See, in state variables you are picking now. Some will be measurable, some will be non-measurable. Okay, some unmeasurable value also you can use for control. That is what I have indicated there. Okay, understood.
Yes, sir.
After this, I will give you the definition for observability. Finish the taking down. Shall we proceed to the definition?
Yes, ma'am.
So take down the definition. This is system observability. Okay, you are choosing a set of state variables. So those state variables should be measurable. Okay, at a particular time. And the proof also you take it down. Again, you are going to prove system observability by Kalman's test only, but the formula will differ now. What is the formula that you are having here in this case? If you want to prove whether the system is observable, for the other case you are having B A B A square B. Here, what is this formula?
Q naught
C
CT
transpose
AT
C transpose, not T.
C
C transpose, A transpose, C
transpose.
transpose, A transpose square, C transpose, like that. Okay, again there are the determinant should be a non-zero element. Then only you will prove that the system is observable. There are other methods also for proving complete observability and controllability, but this method is very easy if you know the formula for Kalman's test. Once you are done with taking the statement, you tell me. Okay, I will show you the question for the problem that we will solve.
Ma'am, what is the second term in Q naught?
A transpose, C transpose. Finish down.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So you understood how to prove system observability. Suppose if you are having a system, if you are measuring the output, then while measuring the output, if the state variables that you are choosing at any time, if they are measurable or observable, then the system is said to be observable. Okay, for proving that, there is a formula again by using Kalman's test. What is the formula again? QO is equal to C transpose A transpose C transpose A transpose the whole square C transpose. The formula will go on. Again, the answer for this determinant should not be equal to 0. It should be a non-zero element. Okay, then if it is so, means the system will be said to be controllable, observable. Otherwise, it is not. Okay, now we'll solve it. Okay, take down the question. Problem. Ritik Mukherjee is present in class. Vivek Sharma, Virendra Mulgir and all are taking down the problem. Shubhashish, Souvik,
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
taking down the problem? Mulgir, Subhashish, Souvik,
Yes, ma'am.
Souvik, are you there? Shubham Sahu, Shrest and all, are you taking down, man? Shrest, long time no speech with you. Lab class also you left in between. Shrest, Souvik is present or not? Pushpesh, Purushottam, Raj,
Yes, ma'am.
all you have understood
Yes, ma'am.
today's class.
Yes.
Have you copied the statement? Problem?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you, shall I proceed then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is being asked in this question? You tell me. What they have given here? They have given one block diagram representation, that is state diagram they have given. Okay, then what they have asked you? They have already given you what variables you have to pick for state variable. So what is your state variable that you have to pick? Read the statement. You want to write the state equations for the system. You know what are state equations. What is state equation formula? General formula.
X dot t equals to 80 into
X dot t is equal to ax plus bu. You need to find. Okay. All right. So you need to write these equations by choosing some set of state vector or state variable. So they have given in the problem. What do you need to pick a state vector? So what are the variables that you have to pick?
x1, x2, x3.
X1, X2, X3 you have to pick. And they have also asked you to find out whether the system is
Completely controllable or and
completely
observable.
controllable and observable. So how will you solve the problem? You need to know what is ABCD. Otherwise, you cannot substitute in the Kalman's formula and you can put ABCD constants. Instead, indirectly, they have given one block diagram. So, using that block diagram, you can find out what is x1, x2, x3. Then you can find out the derivative. You can write the state equation. Like that, you will solve. Okay. So, there are three blocks actually. You are going to split up all the blocks. Okay. First thing is, I will use this one. Okay. So, what is the input for that block and what is the output for that block? That is the question. Come on, 2 by s plus 3 is the block, with the help of which I will write one equation. In order to write the equation, I need to know what is the input and what is the output for the block. See the diagram and tell me. Output, you can easily say, what is the output coming out from the block?
X2,
Output signal. So from this block, the output signal is X2. This is your output. What is the input? Input side, what signal? At this point, there are two incoming signals there. Okay. So what is the output coming from the summer? Here you are having U. Here, what signal is coming?
X1S.
X1. So X1. Okay, so if you subtract, what will be the answer at this particular point? U minus X1. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so redraw the block diagram separately. Okay. So I have drawn the diagram separately. Now you understood the concept of how I have drawn. Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the block that I am having. Now I will write the equation for x2 of s, which is equivalent to what? I have to multiply these two. Then I will be getting x2 of s. So what is the multiply product? I know there was a summer here. So because of which the output is u of s minus x1 of s into 2 by s plus 3, which is equal to x2 of s. Understood? You know how to write the output now. You have to multiply all the previous signals together. So this is your gain part that is coming from this node. So you have to multiply both these. So what is x2? The answer is also given there now. Just you are multiplying these two. So what is the product? x2 of s is equal to 2 by s plus 3 into u of s minus x1 of s. So that is one equation, first equation. Okay. Have we written down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I proceed then? Back to the block diagram. Now this block I have finished. Okay, this block is over. Now moving on to this block, what is the input and what is the output for that block? S.
X2 minus X3.
So yes.
X2 is input.
Input is X1. Output is what?
X3.
X3. Okay, so S.
But input.
Check the direction. It is a feedback signal. So the input to the block is X1, output is X3. Okay. The signal is coming like this. So input is this side and output is this side. Okay, understood now? Akshat?
Ma'am, I was thinking of upper. I was not saying lower.
Okay, now tell me what is output. X3 of S is the output. So what is
X3 of
output?
S.
S into X1 of S. Okay, so that is the second equation. We will let us stick on the equation, whether it is correct or not. Okay, have you got that? Correct now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one final block is also there. Back to the block diagram. Okay, this block diagram. What is the input and what is output? You have to tell me.
Here X2 minus X3 is in input.
Yes, input is the answer of the summer. So two signals are coming here. So x2 of s minus x3 of s is my input. What is the output?
X1.
X1. So redraw the block
X1.
diagram. Okay. Like this. This is the one. Okay. This is the one. Again, x1 of s is equal to 2 by s into s plus 1 into x2 of s minus x3 of s. So three equations you got from the block diagram representation only. Okay, understood now. Sometimes they will give you directly what is A, B, C, D. Okay, that way it's easy. Or otherwise, sometimes they will give you state space model itself. They will give you what is x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx plus du, they will give. Okay, but here in the problem they did not give either thing. They have given a block diagram, so you need to know what is ABCD. For that purpose only you are simplifying all these things. So we are done with writing the equation. Now you have to simplify it further. Okay. Okay, just you are simplifying this equation. So how will you simplify? 2u then minus 2x1 divided by s plus 3. S plus 3 you can give it to the other side. You can take it to the other side. So what will happen to the equation? 2u minus 2x1 which is equivalent to x2 into s plus 3, isn't it? Okay. Now this is the equation that you have simplified by cross multiplication manipulating. Now this side you are having on 2u minus 2x1. This side you are having x2s plus 3x2. So x2s, how can you write? One s term is there, that is equivalent to differentiation or integral.
And differentiation.
Differentiation.
Differentiation. So you can replace the term by x2 dot. Yes or no? Will you be able to do that or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so final equation will be x2 only I want to get. So bring all the other terms to the other side. So what will be the formula? 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 2u. Okay, so this is one of the state equation, x2 dot, which is equivalent to minus 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 2u. U is the input. Understood? Yes or no? So you got x2 dot. Similarly, you need to get x1 dot and x3 dot. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next, from the second block diagram that you have written, again x3s is equal to x1. So how can you write x3s? Same way. How can you write x3s? S is also one time s. So differentiation or integration. So this can be equated as x3 dot. So x3 dot is equal
X3
to
dot.
what? X1. Okay, that is state equation number 2. So you have got what is x3 dot, you have got what is x2 dot. Still one more factor you have to find out. What is the other factor? Oh, and there are three state vectors you are choosing.
X1 dot.
X1 dot is unknown to you, so you have to find that. That you will do it from this block diagram, final block diagram. So tell me what is the answer that you will be getting. If you are writing equation, x1 of s will be equal to 2 by, complete and tell me the answer. My markings are a little bit delayed, so you have to tell me the answer from your side. Are you trying it out or what? S into s plus 1 into x2 minus x3. Okay, again in the same way you cross multiply and manipulate and tell me what is x1 dot. x1 s squared plus x1 s, which is equivalent 2 into x2 minus 2 into x3 you will get. Simplify this equation further and tell me what is the answer for x1 dot. So you got this equation. Yes or no? There is an s squared x1 and xx1. Xx1 you can rewrite it as x1 and x squared x1 is 2 times differentiation. So you will be writing that as x1 double dot. Finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, why have you replaced this x1 dot by x3? Tell me the answer.
Ma'am, because from second system, x1 dot was x3.
Yes. Because of this block diagram that you are having, here if you represent x1 dot is equal to what?
X3.
X1 dot is equal to x3.
x3.
Okay, from the second block diagram. So that is how you are replacing this x1 factor by what? X1 is replaced to be x3 and x1 double dot you are replacing it as x3 dot. Okay, alright. So from this you are writing x3 dot, x1 dot and x2 dot all are over. Okay, now final thing is you need to find out the state equation. So this is your x3 dot. What are the remaining terms? Have you written down the equation? Tell me what are the remaining equations. This is state equation number 3. What is state equation number 1 and 2? We have derived from the earlier block diagram, no? What is x1 dot? X3. Okay, x2 dot. Tell me the equation. Have you written down? Minus 2x1 minus 3x2 plus 2u. Okay, so with these three equations you have to determine state equation, state matrix, state model. So how will you determine? This is your state equation. This is your A x plus bu format. Okay, so while you are writing x1 dot equation, what is the coefficient of x1? This is your x1 dot equation. What is the coefficient of x1, x2, x3? Come on, quickly you tell me. What is the coefficient of x1, x2, x3 from this equation? Is there any x1 term there?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
so
ma'am.
0. Okay. So x2 term?
0.
0. So x3
0.
coefficient? What is the x3
1.
coefficient? 1. So 1. Okay. That is over. Okay, I'll rub it. Next we will move on to x2 equation. What is the coefficient of x1?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. Okay. So what is the coefficient of x2? This is
Minus 3.
minus 3. Okay, minus 3. Is there any x3 term here?
No, ma'am.
X3 term is there? No. What is the coefficient of u? What is the coefficient of u? 2.
2.
So here you are having 2. Okay. So next, third state equation. That is this one. Okay. So what is the coefficient of x1 here? Is
0.
there any x1 factor? No. So 0. What is the coefficient of x2? 2. Okay. What is the coefficient of x3?
Minus 3.
Minus 3. Is there any u term there?
No,
No
ma'am.
u term. Okay. So 0. Okay. So this is what equation? What is the name of the equation? State equation. Okay. So this is of what form? X dot is equal to ax plus bu. So from this, what is your a, b? What is your a, b? This
A is
entire matrix
1
will be
minus 2, 3, 0.
A. Okay, so
Okay.
this entire matrix will be your B.
A.
So this is your A.
This
Okay,
one, A,
so
that one, B.
alright. So A, B is known to you. Still you don't know. Wait, I'm getting a call. Hello. Okay. So A and B. Okay, observable also. So for that you need to find C and D format also. So how will you solve? You have to write one output equation for it. Okay. So again moving back to the block diagram, they have given y is equal to x1. Let us see the block diagram. So what is the output here from the block diagram? Output parameter, final output. What is the final output? This is your input U. Okay, what is the output? This is your output. What is your output? What is your output? X1. So Y is equal to X1. That is how you got that output equation. Okay, let us move on to this one. So this equation is called as what equation? Output equation. So again you have to bring to the format Y is equal to Cx plus du form. Okay, so what is the coefficient of X here?
1.
What is the coefficient of X1? So 1. Okay, other terms are not there. There is no X2, there is no X3, no terms are there. So 0, 0. U is also not there. So all the other terms will become 0. So what is your C and what is your D? That is the question. So this is your Y is equal to Cx plus du. So what is your C and what is your D? That is the question.
C1
C is this matrix. What about D? Is there any D?
0.
D is equal to 0. Okay. So that's all. Okay. So you have found out what is A, what is B, C, D, all the things you have found out, you have written state equations. Next thing is you can easily find out whether the system is controllable or observable by Kalman's test. But before that, first thing is you need to find out whether the system is stable or not. Then only you can proceed for testing whether the system is controllable and observable. Okay, without testing for system stability directly you cannot test for controllability observability. So the first step that you will do is you will find out whether all the roots are located in the what half?
Left half.
Left half. Then only the system will be stable. So you need to find out the roots first. You have to first check out whether the system is stable. After that only you can proceed for controllability and observability. So in order to check that, you are finding out eigenvalue. This is again an important question, MCQ question. Commonly, frequently it is being asked. Mandatorily one question will come to determine the eigenvalues of the given system. So from mathematical class, how will you find out eigenvalue? You know the formula now? Yes or no?
Yes.
So how will you
Yes,
find
ma'am.
out?
From characteristic equation.
Yes. So this is a formula that is used for finding out eigenvalue. Again, I am telling you an important concept. Okay, you cannot directly check for controllability, observability without checking system stability. First thing is you have to check whether the system is stable or not. Then only you can go for checking controllability, observability. So in order to check whether the system is stable or not, first thing is you need to find out the eigenvalues, because eigenvalues are nothing but the roots of the characteristic equation. So if you are finding out the eigenvalue, whether positive or negative nature, you can find out whether the system is stable or not. So how will you find out the eigenvalue? What is formula for it? Lambda I minus A. A is already known to you. This is your A matrix. And I also what to substitute, you know. Okay. So all the diagonal elements will be 1. The 3 cross 3, so 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. And lambda you have to substitute. Find the eigenvalue and tell me. With this we will stop. The controllability, observability we can do it in the next class, but before that you have to check whether the system is stable or not. I will stop with finding that. Continuity I will do in the next class. Come on, check for the eigenvalues and tell me. This is how we will be finding out eigenvalues. Eigenvalues are nothing but poles of the characteristic equation. Come on, are you doing or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Find the eigenvalue and tell me. What is the characteristic equation first? The determinant. Okay, so lambda I minus A. Okay, so lambda 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. What is A? Have you written? 0 0 1 minus 2
Minus 2,
minus 3 0
minus 3,
0
0.
2 minus 3. Come on, find out the answer and tell me. This will be lambda 0, 0, 0, lambda 0, 0, 0, lambda minus 0, 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3, 0, 0, 2, minus 3. Come on, find out the answer and tell me. So after subtracting, what will be the matrix? Lambda 0, 0.
Lambda 0 minus 1.
Again, I'm writing in order to clarify matters. Minus, okay. Okay, if you subtract, what is the answer? Lambda minus 0, so lambda 0 here, then minus 1 here, then 2, okay, then lambda plus 3, then 0, then final
0 minus 2.
0 minus 2
0
minus
minus
lambda
2,
plus 3.
lambda plus 3.
Lambda plus 3.
So from this, find out characteristic equation. Finding out determinant means that is characteristic equation. So what is a characteristic equation? You tell me. And find the roots of that equation. It will be a third order equation. And you have to find out the roots. 3 roots. Have you taken down? Shall I proceed? Next page. Again, I am telling you this part of the problem. One sure question will come from state transition matrix, controllability, observability. Done now? What is the determinant? If you find the determinant of that equation will be a characteristic equation that is equivalent to lambda cube plus 6, lambda square plus 9, lambda plus 4. Have you got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Find the roots by using your calculator or some other that you learnt in maths. So one method is that LCM division method or something 1694 minus 1. So you have to retain this. The answer will be 1. So you have to multiply these two, I think so. Minus 1. So the answer will be 5. Then you have to multiply these two, I think so. Minus 5. The answer is 4. So you have to multiply these two, I think so. So minus 4. The remainder is 0. So what is the factor? Now you can easily find out the roots. What are the various roots that you are having? From this, the root is lambda is equal to minus 1. From this quadratic equation, you can easily find out the remaining 2 roots. Find the roots and tell me. With that, we will wind up the class.
And minus 4 minus 1.
Yes. Lambda is equal to minus 4, then minus 1.
Yes.
So these are the 3 roots. So if you see to all these 3 roots, where they are located? 3 roots are lambda is equal to minus 1, minus 1, minus 4.
Left.
Okay, they are all negative real. So
Negative.
1 is minus 1, 2 roots are located in the same place. So minus 4, all are in the left half or right half of the S plane?
Left
Half. So
Left
system is stable or not stable?
Stable.
Stable. So can you proceed for finding out controllability and observability or not? Proceed to. So you have found out that the system is stable. So next you need to find out whether the system is controllable, observable. You can proceed. If the system is unstable, means you cannot proceed for controllability and observability. So what is Kalman's test? What is QC? Formula you tell. This is a 3 cross 3. So what will be the matrix? B, A squared B. With that you can stop. Okay. So this should not be equal to 0. Alright. And the rank should be equal to n. Then for finding out observability, the matrix is, what is a matrix? Kalman's matrix. You have taken down now. C transpose, A transpose, C transpose, then A transpose the whole square, C transpose. This should also not be equal to 0. Okay, these two things we will do it in the next class. But you have to remember the formula and the ABCD matrices. All have taken down ABCD matrices. Next class I will ask. Have you taken down the problem?
Yes, ma'am.
The continuity of the
Yes, ma'am.
problem we will do in the next class. So you should not blink when I am telling you things. Okay? All have taken down ABCD constants or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Shall we wind up the class now? It's
Yes, ma'am.
10:40. Okay, we'll wind up the
Yes,
class.
ma'am.
But
Ma'am,
see,
ma'am,
listen. One thing I wanted to tell in lab. See, it doesn't matter if you are getting the output or not. First thing, you write, have the written matter, you understand, and then you write the coding correctly. How you implement it in MATLAB and you get the output, that is a different thing. Okay, but learning, you learn it properly. At least half marks you can get. That is a thing that I always tell to everybody in lab. Okay, two batches it will be conducted. First batch, first 23 or 24. Whoever is in bus, first batch, your timing will be 2 to 3:30. The remaining people the next 1.5 hours. Accordingly, you join in Google Meet. Okay. Within 4 pages, you have to finish written matter. Don't write extra things and all. Alright, first you have to identify the experiment, write the apparatus aim and procedure in 5 statements, and then coding you have to do. Then you have to get it approved from me. Then only you can proceed for coding in MATLAB actually. Okay. Then you have to
you
upload
will have
the
to
code.
write the code in paper.
Yes, first you have to write it in paper and then you have to produce it to me. You
Yes.
have to upload it a PDF copy. I will check it. Okay, after that only you can proceed for programming in your system. Then you have to copy that coding and the output, and then you have to upload another PDF file. Okay, 2 times you have to do upload. Understood
Ma'am,
everybody the procedure?
yes, ma'am.
What?
Ma'am, in
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
in this question, ma'am, one doubt, ma'am. Ma'am,
What?
A, B we got, ma'am. How we are getting C and D, ma'am?
CD output equation you got now, y is equal to x1.
Yes, ma'am.
From that, y is equal to 1 0 0, x1 x2 x3 you got plus 0, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood or not?
No, ma'am. Y equals
No.
to X1 I got, and Y that how you get C and D from this?
Y, you have to write no, y is equal to cx plus du is the output equation. You got y is equal to x1. So the equation is y is equal to some matrix into x1, x2, x3 plus d. So d is the matrix, then u. Okay. So this is the equation. What is the coefficient of x1? 1. The other things are not there. Okay. So 0, 0. U is also not there, so this also will be 0. Understood or not, Akshat?
Yes, ma'am. No, understood.
This is how we'll write state equation. Same thing we have discussed problems, initial problems.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you, I am hoping that in lab class you will not irritate me by doing some silly things. Okay, I am hoping all are having MATLAB properly installed in your system.
Yes, sir.
Okay, again I'm
Yes,
telling you
ma'am.
the timing for you people is 2 batches separately, 1.5 hours will be given. The first batch people you have to join with me 2 o'clock. You will be having the duration of 2 to 3:30. The remaining batch people 3:30 to again 1.5 hours time will be given. First thing is you have to read the question. You are to tell, you are to write the aim, procedure and your coding. Then you have to get it approved from me after uploading it into the GCR. After that only you can proceed for keying in. Okay, without getting approval from me, you cannot key in the program. Okay, after getting approval from me, you have to key in the program. You have to get the output, again upload one more PDF copy. So 2 times you have to upload the PDF files. Okay. And one more thing, I have told you that you have to give me a number in WhatsApp. I think only half people gave me the number. If you're not giving the number, I will pick out all the tough experiments that are there and I will force it on you. Okay, so better pick a number and tell me. No same number should be picked. All have picked the numbers and you have posted in WhatsApp?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I will not change any question. Whatever question is coming to you, that question only you have to try. Whether you don't know or not, that is not the problem. Okay? Okay, now all can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.